Hello everybody. Today I'm going to do an unboxing of a game that I backed as a Kickstarter, and I want to say in 2015 or 2016, I can't recall. I had been playing the Pathfinder adventure card game, which was also written and conceived by Mike Selinker, the person who also created Apocrypha. And I didn't particularly like it because it becomes very samey very, very quickly. And I was quite disappointed in that game because I like card games, I like the fantasy genre, and I also like the idea that they incorporated die rolling. And so I thought, what's not to like? And I played it. But as you know, those of you who have played the game or have heard about it, the way this works is you've got a character, and the character has a deck of cards. And then you go through adventures, which are essentially stack of cards, which are a location, and you have maybe even colorful location names. But at the end of the day, the only thing you do is you take cards, you draw cards from each location deck, and you encounter them. So if it's an enemy, you have to fight it. So you would use your fight ability, your weapons if you've got any, or your spells if you've got some that you could use in an offensive manner. And then you roll a die or dice, and then you hope for the best. And if you if you defeat them, then they go away. If it's, let's say, a spell or an item or an ally, you can encounter them and pass a test or do something to gain this card and to add it to your deck. And they were trying to tell a story with this, and I think it really didn't work. And it became very, very boring very, very quickly. And then I heard about Apocrypha, and I was quite excited, although I realized that the mechanics were quite similar. I liked the idea that it was going to be like a little bit, like horror themed, and it seemed to be different enough. And I played the prototype, and I did a couple of videos on the prototype as well, and I just basically decided to get the Kickstarter. But then it took ages for the Kickstarter to come in, not because the game wasn't finished, although they had problems finishing the game, but also because they made the choice to not fulfill the Kickstarter, instead go to Gen Con with several, probably dozens of boxes of Apocrypha and sell it there, and only then, after Gen Con, did they start fulfilling the orders, which not only myself but lots of other people really, really didn't like, because we felt, actually we funded this game, we should have gotten our stuff before you go to Gen Con and make even more money off of it. It also means that I would never ever buy anything by Mike Selinker ever again. But of course I've got the Kickstarter now. This is the basic box, the world, and then I've got the flesh and the devil. It also came with these things. This was part and parcel of the original, the world box. Then I've got this. And then I've got the Book of the Hybrids twice. I don't know if I'm supposed to get it twice or if I should have gotten something else. But they have the same serial number, so I'm only ever going to open one of them. I'm going to keep the other one sealed. And so I was pretty much pissed off with the game. It had been so long, and then I was like, okay, well, I had so many other things happening at the time, so many other games that I just couldn't be bothered. So this one probably came in 2017, so that's 2 years ago. This is 2019 in July, and it's still in shrink. And then when I got the second delivery, I want to say end of last year, the two expansions, I just put them straight into the hot press. However, now there is the second edition, or second edition of the Pathfinder adventure card game, which has just come out this year. And I saw a couple of reviews, and I thought, okay, well, you know what? I think you should give this a try now. I'm very, very busy at the moment, so I've got my Call of Cthulhu going. I'm doing a lot of role-playing, a lot more than I used to. But I thought today I'm going to do at least I'm going to take the first step today. I'm going to do an unboxing of Apocrypha, the adventure card game, Box 1, The World. So let's see what's inside the box. The box itself is quite sturdy. And it is white on the inside, which is really nice. I like it when they go to those lengths. So here we've got the rule book, which I've only heard bad things about. But then again, I think that most people are unable to write rule books. So there's nothing new there. And then we've got the adventure card game storybook, where you basically get the background story that lies behind it. And you get the description of the actual gameplay. So each play, you could say, is maybe a chapter in a book. And the first one that you would play is Taking the Plunge. It explains to you what the background is. It explains to you the structures, the nexuses, which is the way they call locations in this game. What the super villain is, in this case it's a Wendigo, and then you've got Minion A, Helpless Child or Snow Angel, and Minion B, Bystander. So they basically tell you how to set up each of these games. Here we've got the standees, which you use. These are the avatars for the saints. So saints are the heroes, the players. So you've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 different ones. Sturdy box, I like it. Very nice. And here you've got the cards. So these are gameplay aids. Here you've got the Enter Here deck. It actually tells you here, if this is your first time playing Apocrypha, find the deck marked with the Enter Here card and go to loansharkgames.com Apocrypha Enter Here for a video guide of how to play. I've heard that the video playthrough actually is full of errors. So I read that on Board Game Geek. I don't know if this is actually true. So here we've got the nexus. So these would be the nexus in this case is the bibliothèque. So that's a place. Here we've got Omen of Doom. So I think if I remember correctly, the omens are the same as the blessings in the adventure card game, in the Pathfinder adventure card game. And you've got plenty of dice. So instead of the normal polyhedral dice that you find in the Pathfinder adventure card game, you have D6s, and the different colors stand for different traits. So you've got purple, green, white, and blue and red. So when we look at this, this is Ruby Doomsday, Roller Girl. So she is probably a person you can play. I don't know. Let me see. Does she have an? Yes, she does. She has an avatar here, and so she has 4 in green, 2 in purple, 2 in blue, and 3 in red. So these would be the 4 traits. And I don't know really how this works, but these are dividers. These are divider cards. And what do we have here? Here we've got an ally. It's a tail gunner. So these would be cards that go into the actual decks that you encounter. So I'm not going to open everything, but I did get this with the original. So let's see what's inside here. Okay, additional cards. So these were some kind of gift that you got. So let's take a look. Here we've got standees for the little so let's see what we've got here. Enter Here. If this is your first time playing Apocrypha, open this deck. Do not shuffle any cards yet, and do not open any other decks until told to do so. This deck contains everything 1 to 4 players need to play a shortened version of Shirts and Skins, the starting mission of Apocrypha, using the incarnate structure on the back of this card. It's cool you've got this. It's only the Apocalypse. Okay. Intro setup. Use only the cards in this deck. Arrange the nexuses in the listed order. Place all pawns at the stadium. The Doomsday Clock contains 12 random omens, and each nexus has its archetypes already seeded and half its normal number of each card type. Nexuses can be sealed in any order. Saints may move between any nexuses. Okay. I suppose this is the fiend. Ah, yeah, it's the man cubs. The man cubs is minion A. Powers: evaluate versus a skinwalker card. If at a hope nexus, decrease the target by 2 nexus. Okay, I've got no idea what I'm doing. But when in doubt, the first thing that I do when I'm faced with cards is I play it safe and I go and sleeve them. So the unboxing of this game is probably quite unspectacular because there isn't very much to it by way of looking at it, because it only really contains cards. So what I will do is I will first of all sleeve these cards here. And then I will read through the rules, and then I will try my hand at playing this particular game, and we will see how we fare. The problem is, of course, one thing, I will be playing the solo, and some things actually depend on the fact that you can't really play this with only one character. And also some things depend on the physical location of other players in relation to your own. So as far as I know, this symbol here in the middle, this circle with 2 arrows, refers to people sitting, I believe, to your left, in front of you, or something like that. There was something about this. No, actually, these are symbols that if it's this, it's myself, and if it's this, it's the saint at your nexus that is not you, if there is one, and then the saint to your left, actually the person sitting to your left and the person sitting to your right. So yeah, we will see how this works. So I guess you will need to play with 3 characters to make this work, but we'll see. So that was the very brief unboxing of Apocrypha, the adventure card game by Mike Selinker. Box 1, The World. I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.